What is up, people? Welcome to the live stream. How are we doing? You already know what day of the week it is. It's Thursday, which means it's time for me to not be a therapist, because I'm not a therapist. There's even a disclaimer to that effect, which I'll be reading to you in just a moment. Before then, how are we doing, people? Welcome to the stream. Foxy, what's good? Mr. Person, hello. Hello. Aussie, 24/7 Aussie. Is that someone who's changed their name? Or are you new here? Welcome to the stream. Fedora Fro, what's good? Green Bee. Whoa my god, Proof Space. Holy crap. Yo, Proof Space, shout out to you for the 10 gifted subs. It's absolutely incredible. Thanks a lot. I appreciate the support. The 10 people who just received their gifted sub, congratulations, and I hope you enjoy. If you want to join the Discord, you can, now that you guys have your gifted subs. So that's exclamation point Discord in the chat if you'd like to join. But Proof Space, I appreciate that. Thank you for starting the stream off with a bang. Let's freaking go. Let's freaking go. Hell yeah. How's everyone doing? I hope you guys have had a good day so far. My day has been pretty good. Yeah, we're gonna get into Not a Therapist pretty quickly, but there was something posted in the Stream Waffle Suggestions chat that I did want to talk about, and that is the new layout for YouTube. You may have seen, if you follow me on Twitter, actually, I posted a tweet in reference to this right here. YouTube be... Oh, okay. Well, let me get off my Elgato. YouTube be like... Bruce Space gifting a sub to Neo Acacia. Shout out to you, Bruce Space. I appreciate you. Let's freaking go. YouTube be like, because they have made everything round, you know? They have gone from the boxy square design to now rounded edges on everything, like we can see right here on this Twitter image. Bruce Space, you're being so generous. Wow, that's incredible. Thanks a lot. Damn, you've gifted 100 subs to the channel. Yo, I just want to say, Bruce Space, I really appreciate your support of the channel and your support of what I do. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. People in the chat, enjoy your subscriptions. Let's freaking go. Enjoy your subscriptions. If you join the Discord, I will refresh the integration so that you guys will be able to take part in the Discord after the stream ends. Madeline saying, I missed the sharp edges with the YouTube layout, right? So let's check it out. I actually have to go on an incognito tab, because for me, my YouTube layout is actually still the same. Like, nothing's actually changed for me yet. So if I want to see what the new YouTube layout is like, I do have to go to an incognito tab to see. Oh crap, hold on a second. Even this incognito tab I've pulled up doesn't have the new layout. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. What's going on here? Let me refresh that. It worked just a moment ago. Madeline out here gifting a sub to Doggy. Madeline, shout out to you. Thanks a lot. This is my YouTube layout and it's square. Why am I not getting the new one? I literally just had it up. I just had it up. Oh, okay, here we go. Here we go. Yeah. The new YouTube layout. So essentially what they've done is they've rounded everything. And I think it's best if I show it in dark theme rather than in light theme, actually. So let's put it in dark theme. Trey saying, Proof Space matched me on gifted subs. Is that so? How do we see like total number of gifted subs? I don't even know how to like bring that up as a stat. But either way, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everyone in the chat. Thanks for coming through. Okay. Light theme hate is amazing. Are you talking about the video or are you talking about the concept? But yeah, we've got rounded edges on all of these videos now. I mean, let's pick a video to actually click into here. Mini Minter trying all the new Prime products. This is not sponsored, just a way to show. I don't want to give free advertising to whatever advert is about to pop up here, so we'll wait for that to pass. But they've essentially added rounded edges to everything on YouTube, and it looks pretty clean, honestly. I think it looks pretty clean. I guess there are a few quirks to it. But overall, I am liking the look. In fact, what am I doing? Why am I not pulling up one of my own videos? The more I think about it, the more I'm like, hold on a second. Wait a minute. I mean, nothing against Mini Mentor, but I've got some perfectly good videos here to show off. You know what I mean? You change it in settings to all-time gifted sub. Oh, that I can change what shows up in the chat settings. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Might do that another time. But yeah, bear with me while I pull this up. All right, here we go. So, here's what it looks like. We've got ads in... Oh, damn, how many ads did I put on this video, bro? I'll pause it for now. But yeah, all the thumbnails have the rounded edge. Even the ad has rounded edges. It all makes it look very friendly. All makes it look very soft, which I do like. New at Casey, I see that you redeemed stretch. I'll do that in a moment. And yeah, I honestly, like, for me, it's a subtle change, but it does look good. You click into the channel, and you're gonna see more of the same. You know, you see the rounded edges. They have yet to implement an upgrade. There's actually gonna be an update to how the channel pages look. And if I go on the creator inside the YouTube channel, I'm just pulling it up on my other my other monitor here. But they are actually going to introduce a whole new look for the channel page very soon. So bear with me one moment while I pull that up. Here's what it will look like.
Content will be shown.
Pause that, we don't want to hear that. So you're eventually gonna have still your banner, but now this top bit here is gonna have a bit of a description of the channel, total number of videos, subscribers, join and subscribe button, and shorts are gonna get their own tab, which for me is exactly what I want. I want shorts to be in a completely separate tab, so I am looking forward to that change. If you do live streams on YouTube and you have your stream archives public, your live streams will also be put in a separate tab. For me, all the live streams I've done on my main channel are unlisted, but once they introduce that tab, I might consider making them public again. Although, because I made them to go unlisted as soon as the stream ended, if I made them public, it would treat them like new videos and like put them at the top of my channel. So I kind of don't want to do that now that I think about it. But I do like that they have the separate places for shorts and live streams. And I think this looks decent. It's new, obviously, and I know that when something's new, a lot of people don't want to see it. They're like, nah, it's new. But I do think it's a clean look. And I suppose it's YouTube's attempt at modernizing, even though I don't think their current look is outdated. But they're always messing around with the layout, aren't they? So, yeah. If we go back to looking at this, there's one mode that I find quite strange when it comes to the... we have an ad playing. Let me real quick skip this. Okay. There's one mode that I think is quite strange, and that is this ambient mode. So I need to hide the chat so you guys can see it properly. But around the edges, there's actually a sort of blurred color gradient thing happening. And I feel like it's a bit weird. Honestly, the more I look at it, the more I'm like, you know what? I kind of get it now. The more I look at it, the less I'm jarred by it. But, I mean, just to compare, if we turn ambient mode off, you see the difference. It basically just expands the video colors beyond the border. The more I look at it, the less I mind it, although that was super noticeable. You know when the transition happened? Let me, yeah. And now it's a black screen, but you see all this color around. I don't know how it calculates the color. I think it tries to use the video colors to, you know, sort of extrapolate. But you can definitely see it. It looks a bit weird, but the more I look at it, the less I mind it. You can, however, turn it off just by going into settings and turning it off like that. And then when you turn it back on, it like fades in. It doesn't turn on immediately. It fades in, which I find super interesting. Descriptions are a bit different. It's rounded. The number of views gets truncated. Oh, you can't even see that. Let me hide my face cam real quick. Not this face cam. Top banter. Anyway, so the number of views gets truncated, until you click on it, then you see the full thing. Overall, I like the design actually. Overall, I like it. I think it looks pretty clean. They made the join button gray instead of blue, so it's a bit less noticeable. But I feel like people aren't just stumbling upon the join button. I think people are clicking that on purpose. So that's typically what happens with that. And I just noticed I typed in Tamago 2484 there. So yeah. But yeah, what are people's thoughts on the updated YouTube look? I don't know if there's any other major changes being made to the looks other than what I brought up. What are we thinking? Why did they have to put everything in separate boxes? You know, it's interesting. It gives it a more modular look. Was it necessary? Not really. I mean, not at all. In fact, because I still have the regular layout on my... Sorry, let me mute that. Because I still have the regular layout on my actual like account, we can compare like directly how they look. So you know, let me try and do a side-by-side thing. I don't know if this will work, but I'm gonna try it anyway. And then pull up that incognito tab. Yeah, you can kind of, yeah, this is a pretty good direct comparison. I'm gonna hide my face cam in the chat. But you can kind of see, you know, they've... Oh, and you have to ignore the fact that you can see this because I'm mostly logged in on this account. I feel like they've actually made it a bit less cluttered, actually. Yeah, no, I'm actually starting to feel like they've made it a bit less cluttered. But that might also just be because I can see these, given that I'm logged in. Although usually here you would find the subscribe and join buttons anyway. But yeah, the fact that they put everything in a separate box, I think that's to clarify that these things are clickable, potentially. Whereas here, it's all kind of just one thing. Font is slightly different. They don't have the all caps thing. They're going for a much softer look. Overall, I'm just like, you know what? It looks nice. It looks nice. I don't think the change was like, oh, we need an updated UI. But I do think it looks nice. Mid, 5 out of 10. It's one of those changes where it's like, what is the point of changing it? It's so unnecessary. Yeah, I personally don't see it as necessary, but I think because they are adding stuff like the shorts tab and stuff, you know what, that still doesn't make it necessary. They could have just added it as you know, added it to the style that it already has. So I'm not sure what the real reasoning was. I watched the video and they just said it's to give it a more modern look. So maybe there were feelings within YouTube that YouTube was beginning to look outdated, which I wouldn't agree with, but maybe that's how they felt. The older one looks way better, I can't lie. They made it look clean and modern. Are you saying the older one looked clean and modern, or the newer one looks clean and modern? Because I would feel like making it look clean and modern would be the desirable one, right? I kind of don't like YouTube looks. 2017 was good enough. The YouTube 2017 layout. What was YouTube like in 2017? Oh, this is YouTube in 2017? I mean, it's like, yeah, you know, it's basically what we have now. I'm gonna pull up an image that shows it better. But yeah, it seems to basically be what we have now before they updated it to be the most recent thing. And yeah, no, this worked. This worked. I suppose... Yo, Silver Excalibur, thank you very much for the resub. I do appreciate that on that 3 months. Let's freaking go. Thank you. Thank you. With this, like the 2017 layout, and just with YouTube changing their layouts over the years, because they changed their layout so many times over the years, you know, I mean, when did YouTube start? YouTube started in 2005. So I'm sure there are at least a couple of people in the chat who haven't actually even seen the original YouTube layout, you know? But I feel like one nice thing that comes from layout changes is that it allows you to segment the period of time that you are on YouTube. That's only really something that matters if you're a heavy YouTube user like myself. But like, I can be like, oh yeah, YouTube in 2016 2006 looked like this. YouTube in 2007 looked like this. In 2009 it looked like this. Like, I can actually track through the times what it looks like. I've noticed that the Nightbot links aren't working. Okay, I have to do something. Give me a second. I've noticed that was the case. It's a bit annoying. Okay. But yeah, a sentimental thing. It's totally a sentimental thing, like 100%. And I do like that. It allows you to track yourself through time in a sense. This new update to the look, while not necessary, I suppose, it doesn't make it worse. So they've made it different without making it worse. So for me, I'm like, all right, that's fine. That's fine. I really don't care if I can just watch videos and memes. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Why did they get rid of the... Wait, what is this a response to? I saw like Doggy wrote something about like, why did they get rid of the something? And I'm trying to see what the original message was, but I can't find it. Oh well. It looks so off with the weird curvy boxes. I mean... yeah, but it's just because it's new. I feel like it's something you'll get used to super quickly. I don't mind it, but it kind of looks like someone pressed the design button on PowerPoint. Right. No thoughts other than disappointed that sort by oldest is still not on mobile anymore. Oh yeah, they're not bringing that back. You know, for me, I liked being able to sort by oldest because when I find a new YouTuber or any YouTuber, sometimes I'm just like, what was their first video like? So I'll just go and sort by oldest. And now you can't do that anymore, but that is a very niche use case. The vast majority of YouTube users aren't doing that. So yeah, they're eventually gonna get rid of it on desktop as well, I think. Which is why I saved the command that you type into the URL bar for how to sort videos by newest to oldest. And a bit of a tip for you guys actually, because I saved them on my computer. I just called them YouTube sort, right? So on any channel, if you want to sort by oldest, you just go to the channel page and then you type this at the end of the, what's it called, URL. And then if you want to sort by most viewed, and I'm putting this in chat if anyone's wondering, you type this at the end. And the reason I find that super helpful is because on YouTube music channels, sometimes I just want to see the most viewed music video that a singer or like artist has, but YouTube music videos don't let you sort by most viewed. And you know what, I can do a quick example. Rihanna. If we go on Rihanna's YouTube channel right now and make sure we mute YouTube so we don't get claimed. So on her channel, and this will be the last little bit on the whole YouTube layout stuff before we get into your guys' dilemmas. But on her channel, you'll see there's no option to sort by most viewed. And I'm like, what is Rihanna's most viewed music video? So if I copy this and I just add it to the end of the URL, but boom. I was almost like, oh, it didn't work, but it did work. Boom. Now I can see our most viewed ones: Rihanna Diamonds, Rihanna Work, Rihanna Stay. I guess I don't need to say Rihanna every time we're on her channel. But yeah, so I just copy those that I put in the chat and save them somewhere if you want those commands. This is really only interesting for total YouTube nerds like myself. But yeah, just in case you were wondering. Nebza, what's good? Saying, hey Tamago, I just want to say I'm a huge fan and I've been supporting for a long time, and this is my first stream I caught. Just want to say I have much respect for you. Yo, Nebza, I really appreciate the kind message. Thanks a lot. Thank you for coming through to the stream as well. I do appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy your time here. Thank you, thank you. Grave Diner saying, so you just go to another channel where you can sort and take the end of URL? Yeah, you can do that too, but you might want to have it saved because I think YouTube is planning to get rid of sorting by oldest in general, even on desktop. So you might want to just save it somewhere if you want to. Tom again, thanks a lot for the resub, bro. Appreciate it. Saying, I finally have time to watch another stream. Very sorry I haven't been in chat for ages. You know you ain't gonna apologize for missing the streams, Tom again. Just happy to see you in here. So yeah. Let's talk about how a YouTuber by the name of ParashockX is making mini comics every day until YouTube re-adds the dislike count. Why would why would them doing that make YouTube re-add the dislike count? Or are they just like having fun? Like, what's happening? Is it supposed to be some kind of protest? But yeah, maybe the comics are awful. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep putting awful content until they add the dislike button again, because people will want to dislike this one. It's just a thing to have fun criticizing YouTube and stuff. Okay, yeah, fair. I'm so used to YouTube not having a dislike count anymore. And I think potentially with the new layout, it might make it so that the old way using the plugin or like the browser extension of reintroducing the dislike count might not work anymore in the new layout. Yeah, I haven't really had a problem with the dislike count not being there anymore overall. Although it was nice to have. I wish you could still mouse over the dislike button and see what the number is, but it is what it is. Okay, cool. We're good. Let's get into some therapy, people. Exclamation point NAT in the chat. You already know what's going on. I do have a quick disclaimer to give you guys before we get into this. Of course, Trey, I have not seen the fight at Shepherd's Bush on TikTok, and I'm not interested in seeing it either. Oh man. Let's see. Okay, damn, the last dilemma we covered was dilemma number 212, and now we have 272. You guys just have issues, don't you? That's crazy. Wow. All right. Give me a quick second while I sort this out. Okay. We're going into not a therapist mode, people. Bear with me right now. So, as you know, before we get into this, my lawyer just insists. He really does insist that I read this to you, just so that we're on the same page with things, so that we're all clear. So please heed my words carefully. This is strictly not therapy, and no advice given should be considered in any serious capacity. I hold no liability for any harm or psychological damage which may incur as a result of following any recommendations given. Are we clear? If we are, let's get into the dilemmas, people. And I just kicked my camera, which is just lovely, isn't it? Let me make sure that's all even again. There we go. Lovely. Monkey D. Ben, what's good? You shall see very soon. So we've gone through 212 dilemmas. We're gonna go through a few more today. And I mean, after 200 dilemmas, I do wonder what else is there that you guys could really be struggling with. But life is infinite. I mean, no individual life is infinite, but you know, the nature of life and the nature of the, you know, problems that a person can run into in life really sees no end. There's an infinite number of possibilities in that regard. So I'm sure we haven't even scratched the tip of the iceberg of human dilemma, really. Let's see what we got. So everything he says, do the opposite. You know, you can do that. That might be a strategy for you. All right, let's look for some actually good ones, because there's a lot of trash ones in here. My sister thinks orange juice. I swear I read that. My sister thinks orange juice is better than apple juice. I read that already. Oh crap! We've like gone way past this. I didn't update my freaking thing. Okay, hold on. I need to skip some of these. Some of these are exactly the ones we've seen already. After we run out of our dilemmas, we will help Tamago with his dilemmas for real. Okay. You know, when Simi read my NAT, I legit lied down and was listening, like how they do at therapy. Your advice helped me a lot, so thank you so much. Yo, Ibsy, I'm actually glad it helped. I'm not a therapist, but I'm glad it helped. Thanks a lot. And yeah, I actually did not catch up to where we were on the last stream. This was a stream before the last stream. So let me actually see where we're at. I need to poo, but I'm too comfy watching the stream. You can catch it on !VODs in the chat, okay? youtube.com/tamagoVODs. This is an easy one I can knock out of the park. What to do when my friends are forcing me to kiss my girlfriend? If anyone forces you to engage in a romantic act with someone, that is that's straight up, you know, coercion, abuse. So you need to tell your friends to leave you alone. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. They can't force you to do anything, so just tell them no, it's not happening. It's not my business what your reasoning is for, you know, not wanting to kiss your girlfriend or whatever, but you definitely shouldn't feel forced to do so. Whew. Oh boy. All right, now this is a long one. Kevin, what's good? Welcome to the stream. Okay. I don't know what this feeling is, but whenever I'm at someone's house and they ask me, "Are you hungry?" I would say, "No, I'm not," when I clearly am. I would wait for the person to say the food is ready, and then I would eat it. I won't really tell someone I'm hungry because I think it's rude and I don't want to be an inconvenience. Another thing I have is I don't like buying food in front of my school friends. For example, if it was my close friends, then I would be fine, but if it was a guy I knew from school and he saw me ordering food, I would feel weird. One time, this guy I knew from school was at the food court at the town center. I was ordering food from KFC, but I felt really fat and stupid because I was ordering food. I literally thought I was fat for buying food because a guy I knew wasn't there. Wow, okay. We're gonna break this into two parts, but I feel like both of them have a underlying related thing. So I think there's something to do with your relationship with food here. Let's start off with being at someone's house and you're asked if you're hungry and you say you're not. So for me, that seems like, you know, you've also said yourself, you think it's rude, you don't want to be an inconvenience. You know, typically when someone is offering like food, you know, they're not just saying it to be nice. I mean, at least I would hope not. Like, I would hope that if they're saying, "Yo, dude, are you hungry?" it's because they want to make sure that you're all right. But I can understand that feeling of like, I don't want to be an inconvenience to this person. I don't want them to go out of their way for me. So for you, it's like, if you were already making food, then I'll eat it. But I don't want you to start making food because of me. And you know what? To an extent, that is like a fair response, wanting to make sure you're considerate to other people. But you're a guest in their house. If they've offered it, if they're saying, "Yo, you hungry?" Just be like, "Yeah, a little bit hungry," you know, like. But for me, it's just like, I totally get not wanting to inconvenience people. And I will say, like, in my cases, when I've been asked, "Hey, do you want to eat something?" I typically don't eat when I go to someone's place unless I know I'm going to be there for a long time and I've planned to eat there. You know, because for me, I'm like, listen, if I'm just going to be out for like a quick thing just to visit someone, I can just eat when I get home. It's not necessarily a thing. But eating at someone else's house is quite a, you know, common like social thing. It's like, hey, you've come to my place. I want to make sure you're fed. I want to make sure you're watered. What drinks do you want? I want to make sure you're comfortable. So I would just say, like, take people for their word. Like, if they say, "Hey, you hungry?" and they're offering food, then just like assume they actually are wanting to offer that, and don't feel like you're an inconvenience, because, you know, they've invited you to their home. It would be rude of them if they invited you to their home and they didn't want to make you comfortable there. You know, that would be the rudeness on their part, in my opinion. So yeah. Now we'll go to the I don't like buying food in front of my school friends or in front of people that are not your very close friends. You felt fat because you were ordering food from KFC and this guy that you knew from school was there and saw you. Everybody's got to eat. Everybody's got to eat. You know, there is this there is this general like attitude in society. Yeah, I've said society. We live in a society, but come on, it's a general attitude in society that like you know, oh, you're eating unhealthy. Like, what's wrong with you? Especially for people that are larger. Like, if you are fat or if you are just like overweight or whatever you want to call it, right? You know, there's more of a stigma behind people like that eating. Like, if they go to a KFC, they would be judged more than if a skinny person went to a KFC. But at the end of the day, it's like, yo, both people, it doesn't matter your size, both people have got to eat, right? And it's not for anyone else to judge their choice of restaurant or their choice of what they want to eat. So it's a thing that, but that thinking, what I just said, isn't actually like necessarily the thinking you're gonna come across a lot of time just out and about. A lot of people like judging. I'm not gonna lie, people kind of like judging, and so I understand that feeling of, oh, I don't want people to see me eating unhealthily. You know, I want them to think that, oh no, I don't eating, that's not something I do. But everybody's gotta eat. Hey, KFC tastes nice sometimes. If they give me a sponsorship, I'll say KFC tastes nice all the time. All right, give me that bag, KFC. I'm waiting for it. But KFC tastes nice, you know. So if you want some KFC, get some KFC. You know, I mean, I think about this guy or the people that you think might be watching you order. What are they gonna say? Like, yo, I saw this person, they were ordering from KFC, bro. Like, what the flip? Yo, KFC is like $1 billion restaurant. A lot of people order from KFC, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think, all right, so aside from all of that, I think that the overall thing happening here is that there's a relationship with food. And it's common, everyone has a relationship with food, but I think there might be a bit of a negative relationship with food here. You know, I'm gonna say it again, we live in a society where you're expected to be a certain way, and if you're not a certain way, you get judged, you know. And that happens for a lot of things: how you look, how you talk, how you act, all sorts of things. But you know, there is this expectation on people, and you know, it typically happens to larger sized people, that it's like, you are overweight. And I'm not saying the person asking this question is overweight. I'm just like saying the in general, right? You are overweight because you couldn't control your, I don't know, impulses, or because of like this personal failing you have. And obviously you do gain weight as a result of your diet, but it's one of those things where it's not like a moral failing to be overweight. It's not a moral failing to eat food that isn't necessarily the most healthy while you are overweight. It's not, none of these things are really moral failings. It's a person living their life, making their own decisions. And so I think it can be easy to internalize that, regardless of what your weight is. It can be easy to internalize that my eating habits, people are gonna judge me for that. And I feel like that might be what's happening, especially in the case of you ordering food at the food court and you see another person there that you know and you feel kind of awkward about it. It's like, why should it be awkward for you to be ordering food? Everybody's got to eat, right? So I just feel like a lot of it comes down to that. As far as actual advice, and I feel like it's taken me forever to get here, but as far as actual advice, I actually don't have any. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I think a person's relationship with food is something that is their own personal journey, and yeah, I think you just gotta like I think a big part of this is just being like, listen, yeah, I can't control how other people see me. I can only control how I see myself and how I treat myself. And you're gonna have to say, you know, whatever to anyone else, what anyone else thinks. Yeah, I'm at freaking KFC. Yeah, I'm ordering food. I don't give a damn. And you know, when you're at someone's house and they're offering you food, if you're hungry, be like, yo, I am hungry. Actually, I don't care if you see it as rude. You just offered, and I'm hungry, so I'm gonna eat. Like, at a certain point, I guess that's the advice. At a certain point, you have to just be like, when it comes to certain things, I'm actually not interested in what you think. You know, this is my diet. This is what I'm eating. It's none of your business. I don't care. And I'll leave it at that. That's it. Ah, damn. That was long as hell. That was long as hell. Let's see what we've got. Let's see what we've got in the chat. This is my life. I eat what I want and I'm not listening to you. Yeah, basically. Basically, yeah. Do you want food? Yes, you. It's funny. Yeah. Gonna start compiling a document decoding Simi's advice into what you should do since he's not a therapist. Can't wait for some wild stuff. If someone offers me food, I'm digging in. Yeah. I mean, for me, I grew up as a super picky eater. So when people offered me food, typically I would just say no because like, I was not comfortable with eating things that I wasn't already certain what they tasted like. Which meant that I never tried anything new growing up. And that's, you know, that's basically what a picky eater is. So yeah. We get that people think it's greedy and stuff, but they're embarrassed to say they want to have some... wait. But we get that people think it's greedy and stuff, but they're too embarrassed to say they want to have some. Are you sort of like, you're just like, agreeing with that point, right? That I made before? I think that's what that means. You get bare romance questions and you haven't got a baddie. Damn, bro. It's crazy. Wait, did anyone else in the chat? This was my one, Simi. Thank you for the advice. I'm just a weird guy with this type of stuff. That was your one. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't even expecting that section, but fair. Glad I was able to help in some way. This was more of a weird one. It was kind of fun one. Yeah, I see. They're not all like, oh wait, I was actually saying that as well. Yeah, they're not all relationship advice ones. You know, they mix it up. They mix it up. Mid advice, tell them to get shredded. If you would like to get shredded, then go ahead and get shredded. No one loses any of their worthiness just because they weigh more. Agreed. IMC saying, especially today, KFC ain't cheap. You know what? Fair, bro. Fair. Still haven't gotten over them changing the fries to cardboard chips. You're talking about KFC, right? Yeah, it's actually been a while since I've had KFC now that I think about it. But yeah. Alright, let's see what the next one we've got is, people. Let's see what we've got. Okay. I need to think about this. Hold on a second. Wait. Okay, fine. I'll show it. Whatever. Viewer discretion is advised, but whatever, man. Whatever. I've got something to say at least. That's the thing that matters. No one own up to writing this one. I swear to God, do not say you wrote this one. All right, now everyone's gonna say they freaking wrote it. Bro, my chemistry teacher is hot. Oh my God, she looks so good and she has a massive ass. It has become such a problem that I can't concentrate because I am too focused on how damn hot she is. I literally am failing every test because I am too focused on losing my virginity to her. Okay. All right. Madeline's advice, kind of based. Okay. All right. So, I mean, it's a very common experience to have a teacher when you're growing up, when you're in school, to have a teacher that you find attractive. It's not an uncommon experience at all. It's very common actually. I've had that experience. People I know have had that experience. Everyone I freaking know has had that experience. So, you know, there's nothing like particularly like strange about that. The way you've decided to like write about her in this thing is, you know, it's a bit weird. You could have just said I have a crush on my teacher. I didn't need the details, but sure. You're saying that you're having trouble concentrating because of how hot she is. I mean, you just gotta try harder, bro. I'm gonna keep it 100%. You just gotta try harder, man. Like, why is your face not down in the books? Why is your face up at the teacher? Except for when she's teaching. All right, you know, basically, what I think is no one can be so attractive that you literally cannot focus on what you're trying to learn. You know, even if you find someone attractive, you can still, you know, put your face down in the books and stay focused is what I'm thinking. You know, you're saying you're literally failing every test because you're too focused on losing your virginity to her. Why are you focused on something that's never gonna happen? Like, focus on passing the test. That's actually a possibility. Because one thing you have to consider, right, is you're a student, right? I'm assuming you're like a secondary school student, right? So you're trying to focus on something that's not gonna happen, and that if it does happen, someone's going to prison. You know what I mean? So like, why are we focusing on fantasy when we can focus on making our future actually come true? Like I don't understand what the appeal is here. Like, it's totally common. It's totally common to have a crush on a teacher. In fact, in my school, in the freaking benches, people would use like a permanent marker to write the teachers they had crushes on. I mean, it was an all-boys school. A lot of them, we were all thirsty, all right? I won't lie. But come on, you're writing it on the benches so that with permanent markers, so it'd be hard to wash off. So what's writing it on this bench gonna do? What's it gonna do? But you know, you've posed this to this show as a dilemma, and I'm just like, the dilemma here is that you need to get serious. You need to get serious, all right? You are not going to bang your teacher. It's not going to happen. You can have a crush. That's fine. Crushes come and go. It's fine. But stay focused on your studies. Is chemistry the only class you're failing? Is chemistry the only lesson you're not doing well in? All right, maybe ask to be transferred to a different class then, if that's possible. But I don't think it's necessary. I think you just gotta get your priorities straight. You can do it. You can do it. And in terms of, you know, your attitude towards the teacher, remember, she's not an object of your desire, all right? She's a person. She's doing a job. She's trying to educate you. So make sure that your feelings towards her are not resulting in negative behavior towards her, okay? Make sure of that. That is very important. Otherwise, best of luck with your studies, man. That's it. Okay. Now let's see what the chat was looking like while I was saying all that. Oh, bruh. Okay. Fam, in America, there's been female teacher. I mean, it's not just in America. It happens everywhere. I mean, teacher-student relationships, they've happened, but obviously, you know, it's like not desirable. I also remembered I didn't do Neo Acacia's stretch, so I'm gonna do that. It's never gonna happen unless you're the president of France. Emmanuel Macron is a special case, okay? Come on. Oh, man. Please tell him to find God respectfully. Ah. All right. Let's go. Drink, we'll do. I roasted him so bad. I don't think I roasted this person at all, actually. I think I just told them what I think they needed to hear. I don't think I roasted them at all, like, to be honest. I feel like I was quite tame overall. Lord have mercy, we must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused. Hey, listen, this could even be a sister. We don't know who this is. We don't know who wrote this. Failing your test is the right play, or else your teacher is gonna be impressed. It's not gonna happen. He got chemistry of his teacher. Hey, none of that. Let's see. Normally people would just write in the boys' toilets with the hub links to stars and other weird props. Oh yeah. No, I get you. Boys' toilets, that would happen a lot. Mr. Person, thanks for the posture check. I don't know if I just did another hydrate for Ibsy's one, but in case I didn't. So yeah. I think we're done with that. All of this will be taken out of context to frame Tamago. You know what? I accept my fate. I accept my fate. This is my brother's, cousin's, mother's, sister's, son's problem. Oh no. Amazing. Alright, cool. We're good. Guys, thanks for the advice on that one. I'll be implementing it. Yo, we got Luck Voicer in the chat. Was good. Yo, where can I submit something for you to therapy? Oh yeah. What Ibsy just did in the chat. !NAT to submit. Alright, what have we got next? Alright, how do you ask for a girl's Instagram if you know her a little but not too well? So you want to ask for an Instagram without it seeming like weird? Listen, if you don't know her well enough for asking for an Instagram to be a casual thing, then you're not really gonna you're not there's no way you're gonna do it without it being like, oh, he wants my Instagram, or she wants my Instagram, whoever's writing this person wants my Instagram, right? So if you're not willing to out yourself in the sense of, hey, I want your Instagram, then the only real thing you can do is look for mutual connections, I suppose. Is there someone you follow on Instagram that they follow? If so, then, you know, you can probably maneuver and find it if you want to, but otherwise, you're just gonna have to ask and have them know that, yeah, I wanted to look at pictures of you. You either got to affirm it or you've got to sleuth it. I mean, those are your two options, basically. Like, or just look up her name. I mean, yeah, I would assume the person asking this has done that. If you haven't even done that, then you're not serious. I'm sorry. You're not serious if you haven't even done that. So yeah, Simi encouraging stalking. I did not encourage stalking. All I said was how to find someone's Instagram. Stalking is the act of like freaking looking at that thing non-stop. All I said was how to find it. And it's not nothing special. It's just like, does someone you follow them? Mutual connections. It's pretty basic. I'm dying. I accidentally just bought Twitch Turbo. Damn, you hate to see it, Madeline. How did you do that? See me, I can find your Insta if I look hard enough. I challenge you to do it. Exclamation point Insta in the chat. Bullet Boy saying, so how to start stalking? Hey, maybe. No stalking is endorsed by this stream. Okay, let's see this. I feel I can never enjoy a TV show or film fully. This is mainly due to me being spoiled by it because I'm always 10 years late to watching it. So I will be... Okay, you're saying 40% of the big plot twists are spoiled for you. And I will just be waiting for it to happen. I literally know everything or knew everything about my favorite film. I haven't watched many films before watching it. And I feel like I could not have enjoyed it as much as I could have / wanted to. Okay, so this actually, you know, took a direction I wasn't expecting it to take. So your main problem is that you feel like you know everything that's gonna happen in the TV shows and films you watch before they happen because you've already seen the plots. And the reason for this is because you're watching stuff like 10 years after it was like new. So for example, maybe you're getting into Breaking Bad, but there are so many Breaking Bad memes, you already have seen everything that happens, so you're just waiting for it to occur. My recommendation is, that typically happens with like the most popular mainstream stuff, If we're talking about like those Marvel movies, we're talking about a show like Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones. I mean, what's another massive show that, everyone has seen? I don't know, The Sopranos or whatever. For me, like, this can be easily overcome. One, when a show is great or TV or a movie is great, right? Having it spoiled doesn't automatically make it a lesser or a bad experience. It will be a lesser experience because you don't get that element of surprise, but it's not going to be a bad experience. The best media doesn't rely on you not knowing the plot. The best media is able to give you the atmosphere regardless of if you know what's about to happen. But yeah, like my easy fix is you just need to watch some stuff that is less popular, don't always watch the biggest things. Watch something that's a little bit more obscure. There's a lot of cult classics out there. And there's a lot of popular shows that were popular a long time ago. I mean, I just never run into this problem really because, I'd also ask, how are you finding out these spoilers? Are you, like, where are you finding them? Because I'm like, if you're getting recommended through like Twitter's algorithm or YouTube or whatever, spoilers for shows you're interested in, then maybe it needs to be the case that while you're watching something, you don't search it up on the internet so you don't get those kinds of recommendations. That's what I do whenever I'm watching a show. One, I won't Google anything about a show while I'm watching it if the show has already been out for a while, because even the autocomplete can spoil you. You can type in the name of a show and then it'll just be like character death right there in the suggestions. I'm like, oh, okay, now I know that character dies. So, typically you should avoid that. But yeah, that's why I would ask, like, how are you actually getting spoiled by these things? You can avoid spoilers. And not only can you avoid spoilers, but there's so much great stuff to watch that you couldn't have been spoiled for yet. So don't give up hope. You say you don't watch many films, or you haven't watched many films, so maybe it's just a medium you're not that interested in overall. But if you ever do get more into it, you're gonna find a lot of stories that you don't know what's coming, and as long as you stay vigilant on not seeking out spoilers, I guess you should be fine in that regard. That's what I'm thinking. Am I the only person that doesn't care about being spoiled? Yes, it sucks, but I'm okay with it. My thoughts on spoilers are documented. You can check out spoilers on my YouTube channel. I believe Madeline does not care about spoilers, as I've heard her mention before. Simi, are you playing A Plague Tale Requiem on stream? I am, but not today. Today I'm giving not therapy because I'm not a therapist. But we will be back with A Plague Tale Requiem tomorrow. Currently watching The Walking Dead. I really don't want to get spoiled for anything. Luck Voisha, I feel like you've just invited spoilers by writing that, honestly. But yeah. How about stop watching movies and TV shows and do something productive? Why? If you want to watch movies and TV shows, why stop? I mean, there's a time to be productive and there's a time to enjoy movies and TV shows. They're not, you don't have to do one instead of the other. That happened to me for Amphibia. What's Amphibia? It's a TV show. Okay. Right. Sorry you got spoiled. You hate to see it. My friends have been begging me to watch Breaking Bad, but I got spoiled. They spoiled the last episode and they still beg you to watch it. Well, here's the thing, right? Breaking Bad is such a fantastic show. I feel like no matter what you know about the show, it will not compare to the experience of watching the show. And that's what I mean by, if something is truly great, it doesn't matter if you know how it ends, because you're going to be so interested in the journey getting there that it really isn't going to affect it overall. Breaking Bad sucks. Simi, I hope you don't find this offensive, but the drip you got on today kind of reminds me of what a therapist would wear. You really get into the act. I mean, yeah, this is the therapist costume. This is the therapist costume. I only wear this for not a therapist. So thank you. I appreciate that. You got it spot on. Speaking of shows, I want to watch Dune for a big Simi project only 50 knows about. Interesting. Okay. I will keep my eye out. I'll keep my eye out. What have we got next? I see people my age who are always more successful than me. Seeing people with massive houses and so many expensive cars makes me feel stupid. People with a lot more talent that can make really great stuff that would take me years. How can I be happy with the success and progress I make? I really like this question. So, this is something. Invest in crypto, next dilemma. So this is something that I think is almost universal if we're talking about pure percentage wise, because let's just say we see a lot of successful young people, or at least people we perceive as successful who are young. You know, you have a lot of young, actors that are absolutely huge. You know, you look at the Euphoria cast, these people in their early 20s and they're all like the biggest stars in the world. You look at, young movie stars. You even look at, young social media stars. You have your Charlie and your Dixie D'Amelios. You have your KSIs. You have your Tommy Innits. You have all sorts of people, and it's like, damn, these people are so rich, so successful, and so young. And look at me doing freaking exams, and that's it. That's all I do. The first thing to remember is that your experience is basically the default experience. Like, these young, super successful, famous people, whatever, these are absolute anomalies. It's actually very weird. It's very uncommon. I'll use that word instead of weird, because weird has connotations. It's incredibly uncommon. It's rare. It's like 1 in a million that you find yourself in that position, right, where you're just young, uber successful. And by successful, we typically just mean their level of wealth and their level of fame. Really, that's pretty much it, right? You do mention talent as well, which I will get into in a moment, but we'll start off with what I just said, right? So yeah, it's easy to compare yourself to that and just kind of feel like, oh, I'm not as good as they are. What am I doing wrong? There's nothing you're doing wrong. There's no real requirement for you to succeed so much and achieve so much at a young age, but it's hard to keep that in mind, and it's something that I've had to think about a lot growing up as well. I was always a very ambitious kid who wanted to do things to show, like, yo, look at me, I'm this young guy who freaking is killing it or whatever. Like, I wanted that because I saw it happen to other people, but also, you'd watch those like TV shows on Disney Channel. You have Hannah Montana, this young kid who's a international pop star. You have Disney Channel in general, all of the kids on that show are stars. Nickelodeon, you're growing up watching all of this stuff. It's like, I want to do that. I want that to be my life. And a lot of it is not actually even knowing what that life really is. You just see the glitz and glam of it. And a lot of it is not recognizing that actually, like, the life of the vast majority of people is fine. It's just that it can feel like it's not fine when you compare it to this like really like overblown standard that these like young stars seem to have. I mean, I guess that's the first part. I would say, like, it's easy to compare and make yourself feel bad, and then lose perspective on the fact that you're actually like doing fine, and I don't want to just be like, well, compare yourself to people who have less than you and feel better. But like, it's important to take stock of the things you do have when you find yourself, you know, feeling like you haven't done enough because you've compared yourself to other people who seem to be doing so much more. Just take stock of what you do have and be like, actually, I'm all right, you know, like this isn't too bad. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. All right, that's the first part. The second part you bring up is people with a lot more talent that can make really great stuff that would take you years. When it comes to like talent and building skills, that's a timing thing. That's a timing thing. You build up your ability to do things over time. You might look at someone and be like, oh my god, they're so good at what they do. And hey, maybe they are even young, but a lot of the people that are really good at something when they're young started when they were really young. I mean, take like Serena and Venus Williams, right? They were like chess and tennis. Yeah, that's the new sport. They were tennis superstars at the age of like 18, 19. But they started training in tennis at the age of 4. So they had 14 years of experience by the time they were 18. So that meant that they already had that head start, you know, whereas for a lot of people, that just isn't the case. So, you know, never like ignore the amount of time that it can get to a level of mastery that other people would look at and marvel. If you're seeing someone and you're like, oh my god, they're so amazing and they're so young. Yes, there are prodigies out there. There are people who are just naturally more inclined to be able to do certain things. If you take Mozart, you know, dude was like composing symphonies aged like what, 8 or something. Like, he was a total prodigy, and that happens, right? Prodigy or prodigy? Prodigy. That happens. People become prodigies, or they're born prodigies. However the flip that works, right? But I would just be wary of kind of desiring what someone else has, because you don't get to pick and choose, right? Think about, let's go to the Mozart example. So, you know, he was a prodigy. He was able to compose these great symphonies and became one of the most well-known musical artists of all time. But he also had his fair share of issues. You know, he died like very young. He had a lot of money problems. He was the you know, one of the most well-known artists, and yet he had a lot of money problems because handling his money wasn't his strong suit. He was so inclined to do his art, he often ended up neglecting other things. Like, you know, there are pros and cons, and I'm taking this entirely from the film Amadeus, like entirely taken from that film. I'm pretty sure that's what the movie's called. Yeah, Amadeus. And it's all about this guy who was jealous of Mozart, you know, this young kid stealing his thunder, because, you know, he was a prodigy, whereas the other guy is just like, yo, I've trained my whole life and this kid is freaking showing me up. So yeah, it's kind of a good movie. I thought that film was fake. I thought Mozart was fake. Thank you. But yeah, like there are like, it's easy to cherry pick the positives that you see in other people and then just leave the fact that there's a lot of sacrifice that probably comes with their lives. It's probably not all the glitz and glam you might assume it is. And this is a thought I had today, right? Look at Emma Chamberlain. I actually watched her Architectural Digest video this afternoon, and it was super cool. You know, Emma Chamberlain recently turned 21. She's this ultra successful YouTuber turned, like, I don't even know what you'd say she is now. She's just like a celebrity in general now. She like goes on the red carpet for, like, I don't know, is it like New York fashion show or something like that? Whatever that is, right? Like influencer, I guess influencer, but I feel like it's even beyond influencer at this point, because she like, yeah, sure, let's just say influencer. But she's huge, and you know, you're watching this video of her touring her house, and the house is freaking beautiful. It looks amazing, and it can be easy to look at that and be like, damn, I wish I was this person, or I wish I was like this person. But I think there's actually a value in living vicariously through someone. I'm gonna explain. So for me, right, I'm like, I actually don't want to be anyone other than myself. Even when I've looked at people that I'm like, damn, they are killing it. They are doing so well. I wish I could be doing things like them. When I think about it, I'm like, actually, no. I want to be me. I just like seeing them be them. I don't want to be them. I like seeing them be them because it's fun. But seeing someone be a certain way and being that way are two very different things. I don't have to deal with any of the negative consequences of their life, just like they don't have to deal with any of the negative consequences of my life. So I'm just gonna have fun watching them be them and then just return back to my life that I like the way it is. I just want to be their kid so I can be rich. I wish I could be Simi so I could finally have a beard. But yeah, you know, in that sense, I think, you know, there is a value in just being like, yo, I can watch someone else absolutely killing it and like sort of get that secondhand enjoyment from that and also just leave it, you know. When I was younger, definitely I had this thing of like, whenever I saw someone doing really well, I was like, I need to do that, without actually considering, wait a minute, do I actually want to do that, or do I just like the results they got from doing that? Maybe there's a way I can get those results while also still doing what I like to do, you know? Is that why you became a YouTuber? No, I became a YouTuber because I just liked making videos and never stopped. If I hadn't become a YouTuber then, I might have become a YouTuber as a result of like seeing other YouTubers and be like, oh, I want to do that. But yeah, no, me becoming a YouTuber started out of like, I was making videos and I needed a place to put them, and YouTube was where I put them, which I feel like was the best place for me to start, honestly. I think that's the best place for me to start. So yeah. What are we talking about, Ibsy? What's happening? What's happening? There's this quote: don't try and be like the people you admire. The people who you admire are born to do that thing. Do what you want to do. Don't try and be like the people you admire. The people who you admire are born to do that thing. Do what you want to do. Okay, I actually don't like that quote. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, like I feel like you can definitely adopt certain things from people you admire. If you admire someone's, I don't know, kindness, you can try and adopt that. If you admire someone's work ethic, you can try and adopt that. Like, you can definitely adopt things from people, but never just try to like become another person, you know? The people you admire are born to do that thing? Not necessarily. I kind of don't think anyone is born to do anything. I think people just kind of end up doing things, and some people are more naturally adept to do certain things than others. But yeah, I don't think anyone's like born to do something in particular. That's just what I think. So yeah. Have you watched Dar Man? It's a YouTube channel. I have not, but I've heard of it. Simi, would you say you're a young prodigy because you start YouTube from a young age? No, I would never describe myself as a prodigy. A prodigy is someone who shows like extreme aptitude in something, like aptitude beyond what adults would be able to do from a very young age. Like, we're talking like freaking 4 or 5. You know what I mean? So prodigies are incredibly rare, and no one should ever desire to be a prodigy, because it's like desiring to win the lottery twice. So like, it's just not something that is gonna happen, and if it does happen, okay, nice. You know what I mean? I was a prodigy, ask me anything. Lovely. I don't care about success too much, as I want to live the psychologically rich life. If you want to know what that is, watch Sisyphus 55. I've seen that channel before. It's a mixture of having a chill life and working hard for success. A hugely helpful YouTube channel for life and stuff. Yeah, it's one of those philosophy channels, right? Nice. Just a quote I saw, don't at me. But yeah. Simi, you are born with it because everything you like is determined by blah, 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 blah. All right, sweet. Downplaying your smartness, exactly what a prodigy would say. I learned to use the potty at a young age. Does that mean I'm the potty prodigy? It actually does. You know what? You are a prodigy, Luckboysha. You absolutely are. You absolutely are. But yeah. Overall, with this one, and I just like this one a lot because it's something I've been able to relate to over a long time. I remember there was a Teens React episode where they were watching some young singer. I think it was Lorde, maybe. I think they were reacting to Lorde. And how old was Lorde when she released Royals? Lorde Royals age. She was 16. So Lorde was 16 years old when she released Royals, and one of the girls reacting to the song in Teens React was like, damn, she's only 16. What have I done with my life? And it was a bit of a sad moment, like that she said that. It's like, oh, you feel bad about yourself because of this thing that this other person has done at a young age. And it's like, listen, man, like there's no race, there's no competition. Like you do not have this pressure to achieve some great thing that people are gonna know you for at a very young age. You don't have this pressure to achieve some great thing for your entire life, but especially not when you're like a young teenager, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just it's a sad pressure that people put on themselves, and it's because, you know, what we often see is the breakout star. You know, it's like, wow, this person is only this old and they've done this, and that is cool. It's like, oh wow, they're this young and they've managed to achieve this. That's the reason it gets the headlines, because it's novel, because it's unusual. But like, those headlines don't even scratch the tip of the iceberg of the entire human experience, and most people are average, and that's okay. That's the definition of average. Most people have to be average, because average is just about what most people are. You know, like it's fine to be average. I'm not saying don't be ambitious. I'm not saying don't be ambitious. Be ambitious in whatever you're trying to do, but there's no pressure on you to be this exceptional person. You're allowed to just be a person. Okay, you can have a very nice life just being a person. You know, there are many exceptional people that had horrible lives, you know, and there are many average people that had lovely lives, and we're never gonna hear about them because they were average, and they don't tell stories about average people, or at least those stories don't end up on the front of newspapers. Okay, I think that's enough to leave it at that. Better advice right here: stop watching Teens React. I mean, that was like what, 9 years ago. So yeah. You need to buy a jackhammer and get 50 friends to drill it into the iceberg, so when it flips, you know the truth. Okay, lovely, lovely. My parents are average and have the best life because I am their child. I love that confidence, Madeline. Let's freaking go. Where the dude said he would smash even though... Huh? Oh, IMC, you're talking about the kids react. Yo, listen, bro. Listen, I don't remember that. I don't remember that one. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You know what? Let me real quick see if I can find the Teens React. Teens React Royals. I hope it was this one and I'm not thinking of something else. What the flip? That's not what I wanted. Come on, come on, come on. Because it might have been this, or it might have been a reaction to something else. I'm not too sure. So I just hope Oh, I found the clip that IMC was talking about. Oh man. Can I find it? Can I find it? I found it. I found it. Okay, okay. We're gonna watch this. Fine, bros. If you claim me, I'm coming for you. All right. This is a threat. I'm joking. It's not a threat. Twitch guidelines. It's not a threat. It was a joke. It was a joke. I was joking. I was joking. I was joking. Okay. Relax. Relax. I was joking. Okay. All right. Let's play it because I want you guys to see this.
that she's 16. She looks like someone I would date, but I wouldn't because that would be illegal.
Oh my god, I'm gonna get so much hate, but I hate this song.
Music video, though. It's my
Skip. Get to the point. Oh, what? It started from the beginning? I wanted to get to this part.
How talented she is and how... I'm pretty impressed, man. That's so cool how, like, how talented she is and how big she's gotten.
It's not surprising to me. A lot of kids are really famous and have really have a lot of talent. So, like me. Just kidding.
makes me feel pretty bad that she's that amazing for that age, and look where I am. But I mean, sorry.
So it's actually surprising. I only watched this video once, and I'm surprised that I remembered her saying that specifically. This video is almost 9 years old, and I specifically remembered her saying this. And the reason I specifically remembered her saying this is because, like, you know, okay, I would have been 14 at this age, or at this time. I felt kind of the same way. I was like, damn, she's like super big, and she's only 16. Bro, what am I doing? You know? And I think that's a super common feeling. So that's the reason I wanted to show this clip, just to show that it's not uncommon to feel that way, but you can overcome that feeling. So yeah. That girl is 14? No, I was 14. I don't know how old that girl was. I wish I was a teenager in like 2012. How old would you have been in 2012? Like 10 or something? I don't know. I think the guy submitting this was watching Little Einsteins and had a mental breakdown. You know what? There was that show like on Channel 4 or something called Child Genius. And I would always be like, damn, bro. These freaking 7-year-olds are so smart. Doing all this complex mathematics. Here I am at 14. I thought I was pretty decent at maths. But nah, bro. Not as good as these 7-year-olds. Flipping hell. So yeah. Now I'm imagining Simi as a 14-year-old. You don't have to imagine it. Go on my YouTube channel. You can see me as a 14-year-old if you want to. All right. Let's see what the next one is. Yeah, shout out to the person who said my content is amazing. I appreciate that. That's not a dilemma, though. That is perfectly fine to think that. I'm heavily attracted to my not a therapist's sweater. I mean, I'm glad you like the jumper. I'm glad you like it. It's not a dilemma, but you know. Thank you. Okay, this is an interesting one. We are bare old looking at Fine Bro's old vids. Yeah. I mean, they're still around, I think. I don't really know. I think I saw someone in chat say that they're not even with the channel anymore, which is interesting, but yeah. I hate my brother's guts. I can't move out. He infuriates me. How do I not get infuriated so easily? Context, my brother is 2 years younger and is very entitled, in my opinion. So, you know, when a rift occurs between siblings, it's always a shame. I'm lucky that I've never personally experienced that, but I do know people who have had troubled relationships with their siblings. And yeah, you know, especially when you're living together, it makes things very awkward. Now, I don't know the situation here. I don't know if you're in a position, you say you can't move out, and it's like, it's either you can't move out because you're not old enough to move out, or you can't move out because the financial situation means you can't move out. Maybe you guys do a flat share or something. I don't know. I don't know what the details are. You know, for this, given that I know so little about it, the only thing I can say is, you know, if you think the relationship can't be salvaged, I mean, that's always the first course. Like, try and like talk it out. Try and resolve your differences. Obviously, that's the obvious first thing. But let's assume you can't do that. Then I think you might just have to wait it out until you're in a situation where you can move out. You know, do what you need to do. Save up some money. You know, that the cost of living isn't making moving out easier, but when you can move out, do that. In the meantime, you know, I guess I don't know, try not to rock the boat so much. I would always like favor repairing whatever familial rift there is. But I don't know the details here. I legit don't know what the problem is. So the only thing I can assume is that, let's say the problem is something that can't be overcome. I think distance is what would help the most. And so you got to try and find a way to get that distance as soon as possible. And if moving out is that way, then yeah, try and save up and try and find a way to get out of there. That's what I think. Am I the asshole for punching my 2-year-old brother for annoying me? The only way you wouldn't be an asshole for that is if you were younger than your 2-year-old brother. So, yeah. What we got? Real therapists wear shawls. Simi messes up which person he's speaking in. Which person he's speaking in? Are you talking like first or third person? Okay, whatever. Sure. Let's see. I love my siblings. My 9-year-old sister does dumb things and infuriating things, but that's expected. She's 9. My little sister is super entitled too, and we just scream at each other / throw a few punches, and after that, it's all good. Yeah, it's normal for there to be a little bit of tussling between the siblings. That's normal. Just snitch on your bro. I mean, I assume it's not that simple. Like, be like, yo, I don't like my brother. Like, we don't know the details, you know, so it can be hard. Yeah, it doesn't seem anyone in the chat has anything particular here. I think it's because there is a real lack of actual information. All we know is that you hate your brother, which is unfortunate because hating someone in your family is never, you know, never something you want. But yeah, that's all I can say. Like, try and move out when you can. If it's possible to repair the relationship, that's always the best thing to do. Because you don't want to have someone in your family that you just that you feel hatred towards. It's just not nice. Middle children, rise up. Let's go. Do I have a 9? What is a 9? I need you to tell me. I'm deathly afraid of needles. Please help me. Being afraid of needles, it happens. Only way to overcome a fear like that is to get injections. But I mean, hopefully you won't need them all that much. So it's something that, yes, it can be annoying when it comes to, oh, you know, you need to get vaccinated against this, or you need like a booster shot. Maybe you're going abroad or something like that. It can be annoying. You're afraid of needles. You're getting a needle stuck in you. It's not a nice experience. But the only way to overcome this thing is to actually go through it. I don't suggest just poking yourself with a bunch of stuff. You have to firm it. I'm sorry. You just have to firm it. That's it. Hopefully over time you'll get less scared, but I know people who are like much older who are still very afraid of needles, and it's fine, you know. As long as you are able to muster up the courage to go through with getting whatever injections you need anyway, that's fine. If it's to the point where you literally cannot get injections, then you might need some extra help there, you know, maybe an actual therapist, but otherwise you just gotta firm it, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, you just gotta firm it. Pot Pie Boy, thank you very much for the Prime sub. I do appreciate it. Thanks for coming through. I can't firm anything but spiders. Okay, I mean, is that like... What else would you have to firm? Are you like afraid of everything else? You say you can't firm anything but spiders. I'm just like, oh, you can. Sorry, I misread. You can firm anything but spiders. Okay, I'm sure you can firm spiders. I'm sure you can. If you really had to. If a spider had someone you loved hostage, would you firm it? I think you would. Okay, well, first I'm gonna show this one. Sorry.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Sorry. Okay. My best friend is trying to get back with his toxic girlfriend. Last time they were together, he became an arrogant prick, and I care about him. What should I do? I think you should tell him that. I think you should actually say, dude, last time you were with your girlfriend, you became an arrogant prick. And since leaving your girlfriend, I assume, since leaving your girlfriend, you've actually become all right again. I don't know if I can be friends with you while you date her because of how badly it affected your personality. And it's hard to say that to someone, but if you genuinely believe that his relationship with his girlfriend negatively impacted his personality that much, you're probably doing him a favor by telling him that. Now, of course, there's also the alternative situation, which is that maybe he's actually not becoming an arrogant prick when he's with his girlfriend. Maybe you just don't like that he spends more time with his girlfriend than you. I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm just saying it's possible. So you might want to just do some introspection just to make sure that's not the case. But if you're sure that, like, yo, this dude is acting a certain way with this person, then okay, you might want to open up to him about that. One thing I will say is, like, I don't know if a person can completely change someone else's personality. Like, if he becomes an arrogant prick, I wouldn't put it 100% on the girlfriend doing that to him. I mean, is she a witch? Is she, like, possessing him? Probably not, right? So, you know, if he's becoming that way, there's a chance it was within him already. You know what I mean? So it's just something to consider. Have a conversation with your friend. You say this is your best friend. You should be able to talk about stuff like this with your best friend. It won't be an easy conversation. It won't be without its issues. But if you really feel this way, I think you should talk to your friend. I think you should. Let's see. I used to take a lot of blood tests. What? Oh, wait, what? Oh, this is about the needle question. I was like, huh? I used to take a lot of blood tests once a month, maybe more often. Back then, I overcame my fear. Now I'm scared of needles again. Okay, well, I would say, like, you can remember what it felt like to overcome that fear. And even if you still get a little bit more anxious around needles, at least you know that there was a time when it was light work for you. So I think having that memory will help you regardless. But anyway, back to the best friend one. We will need some camera footage of him with his girl just to confirm. I don't think we need that, Grave Dino. I think there are other sites you can find what you're looking for, potentially. It also depends on what you think an arrogant prick is. You know, like, is someone arrogant just not agreeing with you? You just have to speak to your friends and see if they agree with you as well. I think for here, it's all about talking to your friend. It's all about talking to your friend. I think that's what it's about. So yeah. How do you firm a phobia of heights? Not all phobias need to be overcome. Phobia. I mean, to be fair, a phobia of heights, go on like rides, I suppose. But a phobia of death, that can be overcome as well. Just like realize that death is an inevitable part of life, and it's natural to be afraid of dying because all you've known is a life. Now you're going to be experiencing this thing that you've never known. I mean, and it's not even an experience. It's really just the end of an experience. Like, it is a scary thing. You just don't want it to affect your day-to-day where you can't even live your life because you're afraid of death, you know? But that's beside the point. Yeah. All right. This toxic GF1, we have moved on from. But yeah, talk to your friend. That's what I say. Talk to your friend. Let's see what we got. The bag of chips is stuck in the vending machine yet again. Should I shake and kick the vending machine as hard as I can or break the glass to get the bag? No other options. Yeah, when your food gets stuck in the vending machine, it's super annoying. I had that experience a few weeks ago. I was with a few people. Someone ordered a packet of crisps, and the packet of crisps got stuck. And so he did the whole, you know, you say you're not supposed to shake it. I actually watched an episode of 1001 Ways to Die, where a dude died because he was shaking the vending machine and then it fell on him. And so they started adding those stickers onto vending machines saying like, yo, don't shake it, it might fall on you. So they say not to do that. Yeah, obviously when you've bought something, you don't want to buy another thing. But in order to shake the pack of crisps loose, there was another person that was also gonna buy something from the vending machine. And luckily, the thing they wanted was positioned directly above where the packet of crisps got stuck. So we bought it and hoped for the best, and it actually did knock the food down to the bottom. Otherwise, you know, you might be able to just go to, you know, where is the vending machine? Is it like wherever it is? Go to like the owner of the establishment and be like, yo, it got stuck. Can you help me? It's less convenient. The whole point of a vending machine is convenience, but you know, just asking the person, they have the keys, they'll just open it, they'll give it to you. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't shake the vending machine towards you. What, you want to shake it left or right? I mean, you can. It's just going to be harder. Either way, shaking the vending machine, there's a chance it could topple. Either way. Me on my way to the CEO of the whole company to complain about his vending machine. I feel like that's the premise of the episode of a TV show. I feel like I've seen that somewhere before. But yeah, I totally forgot I wrote that. I just realized that was my dilemma. Heading to the creator of the vending machine. Lovely. Lovely. Surplus exclamation point NAT in the chat. How do I find happiness? Happiness, you know, I don't know. You know, I think trying to find happiness, trying to actively find it makes it a bit more elusive. You know, I like the quote that happiness isn't something to be pursued, it's something that must ensue. And I think that's from I can't remember the dude's name, but he was a survivor of the German concentration camps, and he you know, he wrote this book about just, you know, living and like the key to a happy life or something. I didn't read the book, but I know that quote is from it. Is it something Frankel? Is it like Arthur Frankel, I think his name is? Wait, Arthur Frankel. No. All right, let me just, happiness must ensue. Let me just see who wrote it. Viktor Frankl. Yeah, that's his name. Man's Search for Meaning. Yeah, Silver Excalibur. Yeah, exactly. That's it. So yeah, like I think when you kind of try to like chase happiness, you're like, oh, I just want to be happy. I want to be happy. You might be putting like a lot of focus on the wrong thing, maybe. Because someone in the chat said drugs, right? And it's like, yeah, if you literally just want the emotion of happiness in your brain, you just want that release of like dopamine or whatever, then drugs will do that. That's the point, right? But then it leads to a very like miserable lifestyle if you end up getting hooked on one of these hard drugs or whatever. And so in a sense, that shows that the pure pursuit of happiness itself kind of isn't worthwhile. Rather than just wanting happiness, you kind of just want to like find contentment, find a way that you can live where it feels like living is worth it to you, where it feels like you do look forward to each day, not because of happiness necessarily, but because you feel like you've got a reason to like to be here and a reason to do things, you know. And it doesn't have to be, your reason doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. It just has to be a reason that compels you to keep going each day. You know, I spent a long time on this whole like happiness thing, and I'm talking like I've had all these years of experience and wisdom. Obviously, this is not a therapist. Obviously, we know I'm 23, but I've spent my fair share of time just, you know, thinking about this idea of happiness and like, how do I get happiness or whatever. It's like, what you really want is just to be like okay. You know, you want to be okay in the sense that You're not suffering in some way. You want your physical health to be okay. Hopefully, it's not a guarantee. You want your mental health to be okay, hopefully. And then you kind of just want something to do. You know, you just want something to do, something to spend your time doing. And you want to be able to spend time with people, at least for me. That's something I want. You know, I very much value the time I get to spend with my family and my friends and whatnot. So all of that stuff contributes to a life you could describe as happy without happiness actually being the goal there. I just feel like happiness as a goal hasn't served me all that well, you know, and I think it ends up not serving other people all that well, because happiness is just an emotion. There are so many emotions out there, and there's no such thing as like a good or a bad emotion. All the emotions make up the human experience. So if you put so much emphasis on just feeling happiness, you're putting so much emphasis on this one aspect of human existence. I feel like you're not like doing it. There's no right way to live, but I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice, because anytime you're not happy, you're gonna feel like you're failing, when it's like, actually no, you're just human. You're not gonna be happy all the time. The goal isn't to get happy. The goal is to just be all right. You know what I mean? Just be all right. I don't know. That's what I think. Tamago 24/7 sounds like it could be a drug. It is a drug. Exclamation point YouTube. Check out those videos. You'll get addicted. Get ripped. Get girls. Be happy. The funny thing about that is there's a video by one of my favorite all-time creators, Lev Yilmaz. He has a channel on YouTube called Tales of Mere Existence, and he talks about I would watch him a lot, and he would talk about, I mean, I still watch his stuff when he posts new stuff, but he was really big back then, and I will do the stretch, no worries, but he was big back then, and he did a lot of videos just about kind of, you know, the more neurotic aspects of life, and like it's a very like, basically these are the kind of videos you watch when you're depressed and you want to relate to somebody, right? But they're also good videos in their own right, and I think they're very relatable. And in one of the videos, it was a video about like advice he got for his depression, and his videos always have a comedic spin to them. Viperian Pie, thank you very much for the resub. You on that 6 months. Let's freaking go. I appreciate the support. Thank you. But yeah, you know, the video was like advice I got for my depression, and the first bit of advice he got from a teacher was just like, all right, listen, you freaking don't know what you're talking about. When I was younger, I had to earn the food that I ate. You know, the only clothes I had were the clothes on my back. You know, you have a roof over your head, you go to school, you have nothing to complain about, stop being depressed. That was the teacher's advice. His mom's advice was something like, oh, you need to eat more fish because it's going to boost your iron and that'll help you feel better. You know, like one of the sort of, you know, the mom advice, you know what I mean? And then the final advice that he got was from someone he knew at school, who was like, oh, do you know what I did when I got depressed? I started working out, I got ripped, I got a nice car, and I started dating chicks. And that was his advice. So that's why what you said reminded me of that. It's a really good, I liked the video. I love his whole channel, Tales of Mere Existence on YouTube. Do check him out. So yeah, let's do that stretch. Next therapy, this one about happiness is lame. You think it's lame? I don't think so. I think it's a question that, you know, when a person asks this, you know, I think that often it comes from a place where they're feeling a real lack. And I hope they feel better. You know, this is something that can be overcome. It takes a lot of like philosophical self-searching, I think. But once you kind of do find a balance, it's not this like place you reach where it's like, okay, I'm happy now. But you reach a place of balance and equilibrium where you're like, I feel stable now. You know what I mean? I don't need to be happy all the time. And I also know I'm not going to be like sad all the time. It's just like, I'm all right. I think all right is underrated. I think all right is actually all right is all right. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right. What we got? What we got next? Let's see. This is an interesting one. Hey Tamago, I have made a new friend last week who smokes, and I feel bad for him and would like them to stop. Okay. Smoking disgusts me because of how unhealthy it is, but I feel like I could be overstepping my bounds if I stop them. Okay, so I mean, my attitude towards this is, you know, obviously you know the dangers of smoking, and so when someone you care about is smoking, you're gonna feel you're gonna feel bad. It's like, yo, I don't want you to suffer as a result of this thing you're doing. But what I will say is, like, this person was smoking before you met them. So for you to come in and be like, yo, you need to stop smoking, yeah, it's a bit like overbearing. It's a bit like, yo, who are you? Like, I'm making my own choices. I'm living my life. You know, I don't think anyone that smokes is unaware of the dangers of it. And also don't assume that people who smoke haven't tried to stop smoking. You know, smoking is an addiction. You know, it's a nicotine addiction. You know, you don't know how a person starts. You know, it could be a multitude of ways. But this is a part of that person's lifestyle. I totally understand your fear for them. Totally get that. Totally get that. But it's one of those things. It's like, you can't parent somebody else unless you're actually their parent. If you're their parent, then yeah, you can parent them. But you can't come in and start parenting this guy. You know what I mean? If the fact that this person smokes is like a deal breaker, like I can't be friends with you, then so be it. So be it. You know, it's unfortunate. I wouldn't stop being friends with somebody because they smoked, but hey, it's your choice. You do what you want, right? But yeah, I don't see you as having a right, especially because you said you made a new friend last week. You haven't known this person that long. I don't think you have a right to tell this person what they can and can't do. And if you were to express that, it would definitely come across as entitled, honestly. So that's what I'd say about that. You know, actually, yeah, nah. They like there's you can express concern, but it's just because like you've known them a week, like just leave it. Yeah. Simi, it doesn't have to be a demand. There's something called asking nicely. Even asking, no, okay. You have to imagine this, right? You have to imagine this. You have made a friend, all right, and this friend smokes. You have to understand, this person isn't saying, oh, I just want them to not smoke around me. They're saying, I want them to stop smoking. Like, you asking them to change a lifestyle thing, which is also an addiction for you. Like, it's weird. Like, I don't care how nicely you ask. It's like, who are you? You my mom? Like, what was going on? Like, it's not about how nicely you ask. It's overstepping a line. It's overstepping a line. So yeah. The best thing to do when trying to convince someone of something for their own good, don't confront them. Just plant seeds every once in a while. Bring up why you don't smoke, or talk about a friend that got hurt from smoking. You don't do it. Obviously, planting seeds is the best way. I mean, you know, slightly manipulative, but I guess it can work. I suppose it can work. Yeah. I mean, you can plant the seeds, but people can pick up on it, you know. People can pick up on that too. Depends on what they're smoking. Cigarettes, lame. Most other things, let me join. You smoking that crack, yeah? Let's go. Let's go. Doggy, thanks for the hydrate. Hydrate a person who is completely subservient to another. Oh, okay, fine. Everyone in chat, will you please stop smoking? And then Luckvoice just says, because of this, I'm going to start smoking. Damn, that reverse psychology is crazy. No way. Nobody subscribe to the stream right now. Is it happening? Has someone done it? Not yet. No one do it. No one do it. No one subscribe. No one click subscribe. Okay, it's not working. Anyway, what we got next? I don't want a headphone line every time I take off my headphones. I'm guessing this person's talking about headset hair. Sachin gifting a sub to I have glass in my eyes. Alright, I told you not to do it. I told you not to do it. You know what I mean? I said don't do it. I said it. Yeah. I said don't do it. But you did it. So you broke the rules. It's a bit weird, you know. But thank you very much. I do appreciate it. You don't want headset hair every time you take off your headset. You have to get a different headset. Surfer Egg. I said don't do it, you know. I said don't do it. No, but thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for subbing. I do appreciate that very much. Thank you. Let's freaking go. Oh crap, Sachin going off. Yo, you're taking a page from Proof's Facebook saying gifting a sub to Catastrophe as well. All right. Thank you. I appreciate this, people. It is a sub heavy stream. It absolutely is a sub heavy stream. Damn. I appreciate it though. Like genuinely. Thanks a lot, people. Thanks a lot. Oh yeah, exclamation point Discord. Join the Discord. We have like chats in there, community stuff going on. I will refresh it at the end of the stream so that you guys can get access to the chats. You got 6 a.m. start tomorrow, Trey. All right, bro. We'll catch you later on, man. Have a nice night, my guy. But yeah, get different headphones. Get like, you know, there are the individual ear headphones that clip onto each ear. You can just get earphones themselves rather than like actual like over ear stuff. If the headset hair really bothers you that much, you gotta like switch up the headphones. That's pretty much it. Or you can kind of like have your headphones like this, but that's kind of silly. So I don't see that working out too well for you. You can go bald if you want to. You can go bald. You can cut your hair if you like. Sure, it works. I suppose it works. How do I get rid of social anxiety? By this, I mean speaking publicly, e.g. a presentation. Okay. So you want to overcome a fear of public speaking, specifically. With stuff like that, I mean, it's similar to the needle phobia. It's exposure. You have to do it enough times so that it's not scary anymore. So if like public speaking and doing presentations is something that matters to you and it's something that you see yourself doing many times, maybe over the course of your career or even just as a hobby, maybe you want to be in part of like you want to do theater, but you find that you have like stage fright. You just gotta give yourself exposure, give yourself opportunities to speak in front of people. If there's an opportunity that comes up at school or at work, say yes to it. Just go for it, even though you're scared. Like with that, it's all about repetition. Eventually you learn that it's not as scary as it felt the first time. But that's it. Like you can do all these tricks of imagine the audience in their underwear. That's a classic one. I don't understand how that was ever supposed to work, honestly. I think the whole idea is that if you imagine them in their underwear, they're in an embarrassing, compromised position. I'm like, bro, that's just another thing to think about while I'm trying to remember what I'm trying to say. Not happening. But Mr. Person, we'll catch you later on. But like yeah, you just gotta speak. Like for me in school, I did a lot of assemblies. And you know, I would always get nervous before speaking in front of the ear group because it is a nerve-wracking thing. You have like freaking 240 kids and a bunch of teachers looking at you and you're saying stuff. Like it is nerve-wracking. But you do it enough times and you realize I can overcome that fear. It doesn't mean I will never feel the fear again, but I can overcome it. And that's the important thing. Eventually, you do something enough times where it's not even a fear anymore. It's just like you're so used to it. It's like, oh yeah, I'm so used to talking in front of this many people. It's natural. But it takes even more experience to get to that point. So, you know, if doing a presentation is something that you might find yourself having to do once a year, then yeah, every time you do it, you're going to feel pretty nervous. It's only by making it something you're doing multiple times a week, maybe even every day, that you will actually get to a point where, oh yeah, this is light work. This is light work. And a lot of jobs actually, you know, involve some degree of public speaking. Like, for example, being a teacher, people might not consider that public speaking, but you're talking to a class of 30 kids. That is a form of public speaking, you know. I mean, I guess being a live streamer, I suppose. Only thing is, it's very different just because you're not actually in the same room with the people you're talking to. What other? I mean, anything where you're finding yourself having to speak to multiple people at once, you know, that is a public speaking position. And so if getting experience in that is something that matters to you, then you just need to look for opportunities to do that. Theater opportunities, or even something like Toastmasters, which is all about public speaking and improving your skills in that. Yeah, just being willing to break out of your comfort zone in that sense. I think a lot of the fear associated with public speaking is the fear that you're gonna mess up. What if I say a word wrong? What if I look stupid? What if this? What if that? It's all these what ifs that are not really helping you, you know? Like you're thinking about a lot of bad scenarios happening. What about the good scenarios? What if this speech goes fantastic? What if they really like it? What if I'm really proud of myself by the end of it? Those are the what ifs you don't consider. And on top of that, okay, you're thinking about the bad things that could happen. What if I look stupid? All right, what if you look stupid? All right, yeah, you're gonna look stupid. And then what? You're not gonna die. Like, it's fine. Like, you're gonna be all right. Like, oftentimes, even the worst case scenario, like the realistic worst case scenarios for a lot of things aren't even that bad. And when you consider that, it's like, okay, I can do this actually. Because even if it does go wrong, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So yeah, there's my thoughts on that. I'm being fully serious. Planting seeds is the... Oh, this has to be referring to the last one, right? I love speaking publicly, but you have to remember that like 70% of the world is also scared of it. Yeah, I mean, it's a very common fear, actually. Very common fear. They aren't going to judge you because they feel the exact same. You talking about when someone's public speaking? I mean, potentially. Although, when you're in the audience and you're looking at someone, it is easy to be more of a judge because it's like, all right, no pressure on me, all the pressure's on them. So, you know, I wouldn't say that you're not going to get judged at all. I'm just saying it's not that big a deal to get judged in that sense. There was another thing I was thinking of that I slipped my mind now. But yeah, I have that thing where you can't see images in your brain. So I was unaware you were actually supposed to visualize them in their underwear. Interesting. You can't see images in your head, right? I've heard of that. I don't know if I've ever like seen someone say they had that, but interesting. I had to give a presentation in front of my entire year, and I literally was so nervous for the walk to school, and it went fine. Yeah, you know, that feeling of nervousness is totally natural. That happens, you know, even for me. Like, I gave a lot of speeches in school, and yeah, every time I would still be like a little bit nervous. It's like, all right, but the nerves are kind of just your body preparing you for, you know, what you're about to do. You know, it's not necessarily a bad thing. If I ever have a speech or anything like that, instead of worrying or embarrassment, I embarrass myself on purpose right off the bat. So then I'm not worried anymore and I can just do whatever. How do you embarrass yourself right off the bat? What do you do? Is being shot considered it going wrong? If so, then it will hurt you. I mean, yeah, that would be it going wrong, but that wouldn't even be your fault. Like, you can't control getting shot most of the time. You know what I mean? And that's unlikely. It's probably not gonna happen. So yeah. I really can't. Guided meditation made no sense to me. Wow, that is interesting. Okay, fair. Wow, that's really interesting. Okay, can't visualize images in your head. Interesting. I feel like I see it, but I legit don't. But it's probably not actually like a video playing in your head. I mean, imagining an image in your head is kind of just, you imagine what the thing looks like. And it can be a bit dynamic. Like, I'm imagining a red apple right now, and I can see it. And it's not like a clear, it's kind of like some, you know, AI image generated weird apple. But I can make it crisp if I want to. I can take a bite out of the apple if I want to. I can imagine pictures in my head. This is like describing sight to a blind person. Maybe. I just know the concept of a red apple. Okay. That's super interesting to me. Wow. I wonder if there's any sort of like game that could be played with that, with knowing that someone can visualize something in their mind and then someone can't. Like, is there a game concept? Not necessarily a video game, just a game you can play by talking. I'll think about it, maybe. I mean, if you were asked to draw something from scratch, like if I asked you to draw a red apple, you'd probably be able to draw it, even if you didn't visualize it in your head. I guess drawing it would be the visualization for you. Can blind people visualize images? Like in their head? I think only if they've seen what certain things look like before. Like if you're familiar with what something would have looked like before you went blind, so assuming you weren't born blind, then I think you can. But there's a YouTuber. Let me find her. Please tell me I'm gonna remember her name. What's the name? Come on. Oh, okay, wait. This isn't her channel, but this is her. Lucy Edwards. Okay. She's a blind YouTuber from the UK. She talks a lot about the experience of being blind, and she wasn't born blind. She went blind when she was a teenager. So watching this channel is actually a good way to learn about the experience of being blind. If anyone is interested, shout out to Lucy. She was actually at the wedding that I went to a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, she was the maid of honor. If I see a shady looking penguin holding a razor, ask for my wallet, should I give him my money? You know what? Give it to him. Give it to him. Wait, now I'm scared I can't visualize. I'm not sure now. It's hard to describe. I mean, I know that I can visualize images because I can see something in my head. I mean, okay, if you look at the logo for something, like look at one of the logos on your desktop right now, or look at something. Okay, I have like a tub of Carmex. I'm looking at it. I can close my eyes and I can visualize the Carmex. Like I can see it. You know what I mean? Like that's what I mean. Like that's what it's like. Anyway. Man going, you've seen her before? Yeah, because she well, not because, but you've probably seen her because she's done a lot of like viral TikToks and YouTube shorts and stuff. So you might have been able to see her through that. I've seen her before. She seems nice. She's lovely. She's absolutely lovely. I have a blind friend that can only visualize images of things they've seen, but they can visualize touch and hearing in their dreams, which is cool. Which is a cool ability for blind people because touch and hearing is hard to visualize if you can see. Right. Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. It's a blessing because if I see something disturbing, I can't really recall it, so I'm winning. I can only see images in my head if I'm dreaming. Oh, okay, interesting. Quincy saying, then again, what is seeing? Getting philosophical up in here. All right, we're gonna do one more question. Let's see what we got. Okay, it's quite like a serious one in here that I can't like answer, but I will give the themes. I'll give the themes for this one. So the themes are bullying, and this person is you know, discovering things about their sexuality, and their parents are homophobic, and so they're worried about that. That's like a very tough situation, and I'm sorry, and it's not a rare situation a lot of people go through, especially people that are discovering that they're not necessarily straight or whatever, you know, and their parents not being supportive of that. I can't give like advice for what to do because I don't know what to do, and it really depends on individual circumstances and things like that. I would say try and find a support network. Try and find people that accept you for who you are, and also people that are like open to you discovering who you are as well, because you're not like certain of anything, but you're like you're considering these things and you're getting bullied. So you need to find people that will be in your corner, and, you know, not stand if you getting bullied. And that can be hard. This person's in school. It can be hard, but that's the mission right now. That's the mission. Like, you just gotta find like people that are on your side and find a support network. So yeah, that's what I'd say. That's what I'd say. Liam, thanks for tuning into the stream. I appreciate it. Madeline saying, try and find some safe spaces online if you can. It helps a ton. That can be helpful as well. Obviously, when thing online, there's always dangers, but generally speaking, there are like safe places that you can find as well. So yeah, but for you, I think it's all about, you got to find people who can help and accept you how you are, rather than trying to force you to be one way or the other. So yeah. Liam, this is not a therapist. I am not a therapist, but I'm trying to give people some sort of advice that they probably should not take. So yeah. Grave Down saying, I want to know, like, how can you be homophobic? Like, what's the issue, man? I don't like directly support it, but I despise people that hate it. Okay, so like, all right, let's end on this. So I understand. I understand the the idea of like, okay, all right. Let me just say this. So when people like come out as gay, when people come out as part of the LGBTQ, you understand that it's not something they choose for themselves, right? It's a way they're born. It's a way they are, and it's also like nothing wrong with it, right? And so I think there's a big problem where some people are like, oh, it's a lifestyle choice, but it's not a lifestyle choice. It's kind of just how they were, just how they are, you know what I mean? And so even the idea of like, I don't support it, it's like, what does that even mean in itself? Like, it's not really something you support or you don't support. It's just like, this is who they are, and it's like you don't want to like treat them differently for being the way they are. So that's why, like, when it comes to the idea of when it comes to the idea of like, I don't support it, it's like, well, what are you not supporting? Are you not supporting their right to be treated as everybody else gets treated, or what? So that part of that sentence there is what I find a little bit questionable. But I get what you're saying about the whole, you know, what is the issue people have? You know, why are people homophobic? And there's a lot of like reasons. Obviously, you have like the religious stuff, you know, like, yeah, the religious stuff, that's one of them. But a lot of it comes down to you know, there are ties to colonialism as well. Like there are a lot of like factors that go into it, and none of them justify it. But if you're asking why are people this way, answers can be found. Actually, answers can be found. So yeah, I have glass in my eyes. We will be back tomorrow. We're going to be continuing with A Plague Tale Requiem. So yeah. Quincy referencing freaking Doja by Central C. I was just reading, I was like, Hedge Steve, what's good? Welcome to the stream. How you doing? See me trying not to get cancelled? I'm not trying not to get cancelled. Is it homophobic if I dislike Shane Dawson? Well, I mean, I know that's a joke, but yeah, no, obviously. So yeah. I grew up in the Bible Belt, so I've seen too many people hate themselves and others for it. Yeah. I mean, it's a big shame, and I think things are slowly getting better. Progress is slowly being made, but there's still a long way to go. You know, there's still a long way to go. Why did I get a notification saying Sachin gifted a sub to me? I have glass in my eyes. It's because Sachin gifted a sub to you. Congratulations. That's why. I'm a Christian, so it's just I can't support it. I can't support something against my religion, but I'm done talking about it. I mean, okay. See, when it comes to like the religious thing, it's like if that's your stance, that's your stance. I don't know what's gonna happen to change it. It can be changed at all. But for me, I'm like, these are people, and like treating people right trumps any, I don't know, religious duty for me, right? So yeah, those are my thoughts on that. I have glass in my eyes. Thank you very much for the stretch. I do appreciate that. Rather than saying those Southern Baptists are vicious. Yeah, I mean, so I've heard. I watched Louis Theroux goes to the Westboro Baptist Church. Oh man. Yeah. All right. Oh my god, I don't know what to say. What the flip? If they are trans or fat, they can't go to heaven. Fat? What? I think we should stop. Listen, I mean, it's like, it's your religion and it's what you believe. But like, I mean, I can't see that as anything but bigoted. Not fat dingus. Why are you calling me a dingus? You wrote it. You literally wrote that. That's what you wrote. Yo, Goblin Gaming, thanks for the subscription. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. So yeah. All right, you know what? Let's let's see what else we got. You know what? Whatever. I'm done. We're gonna call it that, people. We're gonna call it that. Trans fat versus saturated fat. All right. Oh, flipping hell. Oh my god. People, thanks for tuning into the stream. I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you next one. Oh no, what's happening? Send me all your fault. Oh, my fault. What's my fault? What did I do? I didn't do anything. Gonna make this a forum. This is gonna be awful. I can already tell it's gonna be awful. Listen, accept people how they are. That's my mantra. Okay, you gotta accept people how they are. And you know, don't just do it in quiet. Don't just be a quiet supporter. Actually, like, support people out loud. Because if you're just like, oh, I support it, but I'm not gonna like help at all, then it's like, okay, it's not much of a supporter. You're just kind of indifferent to, I don't know, their suffering or whatever. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that anyway. I'm gonna give you guys a headset here. I'm gonna see who we're gonna raid, and we can call it for today's stream, people. Assuming all the money from the gifted sub goes to charity, right? It goes to the charity of tamago2474. So thank you for supporting. You do get gift aid on your gifted subs. You do not do that. You do not get gift aid, just in case you are actually filing your taxes. So yeah. So plus saying I'm sorry for all the typos. So sorry. Listen, like, for me, right, I like, just in regards to what you said, I don't want to like, I don't know, I guess penalize you for what you said because it doesn't agree with what I've said or what I think, what I believe. But I just feel like, you know, when a stance takes a position that I think actively hurts people, it's just hard to feel like there is a common ground there. So I hope that you come round to my way of seeing things. I'm gonna be honest. I hope you come around to my way of seeing things. And it doesn't need to happen, but that's what I would hope for you. Doesn't mean I don't appreciate you checking out the stream and supporting the channel. But yeah, I just want to make it clear that that's what I'm hoping for out of this situation. So yeah. All right, we're gonna be raiding Losse. She's playing The Sims 4. So let me give you that headset here. I'm gonna call it for the stream. Self plus, I get you. I think the headset here is pretty good. And I think it's because I was actually wearing a headset for quite a bit of the day. So it's probably decent. Yo, that is decent. That is the... You know what? Is that an 8? Is that an 8? It's very clean. You could give it a 7. I wouldn't accept anything less than a 7. But I think an 8. I think an 8. 7 or an 8. 7 or an 8. So yeah. 10 out of 10. I think that's the best I've seen. Luck Voisha, is that so? Exclamation point headset hair in the chat. You'll see what a real 10 out of 10 looks like. But yeah. Yeah, some people don't accept fat people. Deal with it. Why? Quincy, why? I mean, obviously, like, in life, there are people who are gonna be certain ways. And yeah, you do have to deal with it. But yeah, I do think it's weird, the people who have, like, problems with overweight people. I think that's, like, very weird, honestly. Anyway. What an interesting way to end the stream. We will tune in. You look like a screw, thank you. We will tune in tomorrow. We will continue with A Plague Tale Requiem. Until then, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next stream. Stay tuned for the raid. Have a nice afternoon, morning, evening, or night. And I will see you later, people. If only 50 was here. Bruh. Peace out, everybody. Bye-bye.